Hey guys, it's Vault again, back with another Pokemon Go video. And today I'm just gonna show you a couple matches and then show you guys what I finished out ranking for the end of Great League for Go Battle League. All these are the last set I played today. Some wins, some losses. It just shows that, you know, majority of my losses are just because of lag or just a very close game. This person first comes out with a Mega and then swaps in Altaria, both shiny, which are pretty cool. But unfortunately, she's going to lose. But as you can see, there's a little bit of a shield bug, a little visual bug right there. Just showing that the shield didn't place where it was supposed to. And here I'm just going to block because I know I already won the game. And she's just trying to figure out what to do right now. And she has an Azumarill. And she decides to shield. And I'm just going to finish out my Grand Bull right there. And I do. Then I pull out my Metal because I don't want my Shiftry to die because I know my Metal is going to deal decent damage. But she does have Hydro Pump, which is a little bit scary. And I get my Leaf Blade, but she still has one shield available, so she's going to block. And then right here, I get my attack, and somehow she gets it off right before me, so he has Ice Beam, and that's super effective to my Shiftry. And then I have Rock Slide. And right here, even though at the beginning I thought this was going to be an easy win, I barely get the win by getting my move off right before she does. And just barely killing her. So that's how we get the win right here. This next match right here is a loss, but I want to also show how strong Vigoroth is against my comp. There's not one Pokemon I have in my comp right now that is going to even deal like decent damage against Vigoroth. So that's why usually his Vigoroth with Body Slam is going to take out at least 2 of my Pokemon, if not all 3, just because of how strong it is. Right here, he's going to pull out his Skarmory, and I'm just going to tank this attack right here because Skarmory Sky Attack is not effective on Melmetal. And to be honest, right here, I should have tanked another attack, but I wanted to shield just so I can protect him as long as possible. And right there, I should have risked it as well. I thought that I would be able to farm him down, but I had a feeling he was about to get his attack, so I didn't. And then he pulls out his Vigoroth, and that's just going to do a lot of damage to me. Because he is a fighting, and fighting's double damage on Melmetal, so. And right here, I decide to shield. And right here is a little bit questionable on how he gets 3 attacks back to back. Because you can only carry over charge from 2 attacks, so I'm not really sure how he was able to do that. Because right there, the entire time between those last 2 attacks, I was just spamming my charge move and it wasn't going off, so I'm not really sure how he's able to get 3 attacks back to back, but he did. Alright, here in our next matchup, he comes out with a Mega, and this is pretty good for me because my Foul Play will do about half damage to his Mega right off the bat. And it looks like on his end that he's not attacking, that he may be lagging. So I'm able to get a second foul play off before he gets his frenzy plane off. And then he finally gets his attack, and I'm just going to block just because I already have the upper hand. And right here he swaps and pulls out Skarmory, and I pull out my Melmetal. And then he realizes that he probably doesn't stand a chance in this game, and then he decides to quit. So that's a win right there. Alright, here in our next matchup, he comes out with Toxicroak, and in my comp, if they come out with a Toxicroak, that's something I usually don't like want at all, because it's just so strong against my comp. Even though Granbull counters it very well, I had to swap originally, then he had to swap, which is not good for me. And then he pulls out a Zoomerl. This is like a decent matchup right here. This is probably the best scenario for me if he swaps to his Azumarill. Just because my Granbull does decent damage to it. And then right here, I decide to block once again because I want to keep my Granbull alive as long as possible. And I'm just going to save my Crunch. And I'm just going to come out and spam. He has a Registeel, which I'm a little bit worried about because I have no shields and I don't know what his attack is. So I have a feeling that it's going to deal something pretty... It's probably going to be Focus Blast, and that's going to one-shot. And right there I was going to bait him, but he does get his attack before I'm able to get my superpower. And he does have Focus Blast, and it does one-shot. So at this point in the game, I kind of already know I lost. But we also do get a little bit of lag, which isn't going to help me at all. Because I am able to get foul play. And that's going to deal, you know, a moderate amount of damage towards him. And I'm going to not get my Leaf Blade before he gets his attack. And for whatever reason, he decides to use Flash Cannon, even though if he used Focus Blast, it would have one-shot my Shiftry, but I guess he didn't know that. And right here, I want to swap to my Granbull, but for whatever reason, I get a little bit of a visual bug right there, and it's not allowing me to swap, and then my Shiftry dies. I could have used an attack on my Shiftry, but it bugged out, and then as you can see, once again it lags out, and then he's able to get his attack and win. So unfortunate loss right there to lag once again. And here in our last matchup, he comes out with Melmetal, and I'm going to get my foul play because that's going to deal a good bit of damage to him. And it does. He does not block. And I want to get it again, but he has his attack, and I'm going to block. And unsure how he was able to get 2 supercharges back to back that quickly, or superpowers. And he was able to swap once again right as I was spamming my attack, which is a little bit questionable, but he pulls out his Vigoroth, and to be honest, anytime I see a Vigoroth now, I just assume I'm going to lose. Just because it's such a strong Pokemon against my comp. I just don't have like a fighting to counter his fighting. And he gets 2 body slams off real fast, and I don't know what I want to do right here. And I'm just like trying to save some time so I can get my swap back as fast as possible. And I'll get Rock Slide, but it's not going to do anything because he blocks. And I have no shields right here in his body slam. Actually, he has bulldoze right here. He has 2 movesets. And I get my leaf attack, but unfortunately it's not going to, win me the match right here. Because he still has both Pokemon left. And once again, he got his attack right before me, So right here, right after this game, you guys are going to see what I finished with for the first part of Season 1 in Great League. And on this last set, I only won 2 games. And we're going to finish the season off, we're going to finish Great League off with 21-10. So I appreciate everyone watching, and see you guys in Ultra League.